let's talk about strength. I mean, what does it really mean to be strong? We live in a world that seems to reward noise, right? The loudest person, the fastest response, the most reactive opinion. But is that real strength? Well, today, we're going to dive into the science behind a completely different kind of power, the quiet, controlled strength of a peaceful mind. So if you look at how society often defines strength, it's all about being loud, fast, and reactive. But what if true, lasting strength is, well, the exact opposite? What if it's quiet, steady, and controlled? Think of it this way. It's like the difference between a chaotic flash flood and a massive, powerful river. One just causes a mess. The other is this immense, directed source of energy. But living in this world of constant notifications, endless opinions, and nonstop comparisons, it definitely comes at a price. It has a real cost. So what is that hidden price we're all paying for so much mental chatter? That's what we're going to get into right now. The real cost of all that mental noise. We're going to see how this constant stimulation is actually chipping away at our ability to focus and, more importantly, our sense of control. Have you ever heard of a little thing called attention residue? It's a fascinating concept. See, every time you switch tasks, like you're working on an important email but you quickly glance at a text message, a part of your brain literally stays behind, still thinking about the email. Every single one of these little interruptions costs you precious cognitive fuel. It's why you can feel so completely drained and foggy by the end of the day, even if you feel like you didn't do much. And sometimes it gets even more intense. This brings us to something called the amygdala hijack. This is that split-second moment when a wave of emotion, like anger or fear, just completely bypasses your rational brain. You just act before you think, you speak before you really understand. It's that impulsive text you regret sending or that sharp reply you wish you could take back. That's your brain's alarm system hijacking the controls. So what's the takeaway here? All this mental noise has very real effects. It shatters your attention into tiny pieces, which ramps up anxiety. And over time, it actually erodes your trust in yourself. When your brain is always on this low-grade alert, even small, everyday problems start to feel like massive threats. And pretty soon you find you need that next notification, that next distraction just to feel okay. But here's the good news, and it's really good news. It absolutely does not have to be this way. This is where we get to the turning point. It's about learning to shift from reaction to response. We're about to explore how to create that little bit of mental space where real power actually lives. This quote just perfectly nails the whole idea. Between stimulus and response, there's a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. You know, most of us live with almost zero space there. A trigger happens and bam, we react instantly. Learning to create even a tiny pause, that's it. That's where all of your power comes from. Let's break this down a bit more, put them side by side. A reaction, that's pure impulse. It's you surrendering control, and usually it's all about protecting your ego. A response, though, is a choice. It's deliberate. You maintain control, and it's focused on what's true, not just on a hurt feeling. A reaction might feel intense in the moment, but a deliberate response is real strength. Okay, so this all sounds good, right? But how do we actually do it? Well, in this next part, we're going to get into some super practical tools for a quiet mind. Actual techniques you can start using to build that inner space and strength, literally starting today. Oh right, here is the first and maybe the simplest tool of all, the 3-second pause. It's so simple. The next time you feel that hot, rising urge to just react, just stop. First, notice the trigger. Just feel it. Second, take one single, slow breath in. That helps your nervous system chill out. And third, use that tiny moment to interrupt the impulse. Seriously, those 3 seconds are often all you need to stop an emotional hijack and create that little space to choose. Another incredibly powerful tool is something called cognitive reframing. This is all about talking back to that negative voice in your head. So when a distorted thought like, "Ugh, I always fail," pops up, first, just notice it. Don't fight it, just see it. Second, challenge it. Ask yourself, is that a 100% certified fact, or is it just a feeling I'm having? And finally, reframe it. Find a more grounded, more accurate way to see it. This is how you turn that internal drama into real stability. Now, this next one might sound a little backward, but it is a fundamental truth. Discomfort is the gateway to strength. We're all wired to avoid feeling uncomfortable, but every single time you run away from it, you're actually weakening your own resilience. The ability to just be steady, even when you don't feel good, that is where true psychological strength is forged. And this all leads us to the two scorecards we all kind of live by. First, there's the external scorecard. This one depends completely on likes, praise, and what other people think. And you know what that creates? Constant anxiety and fragility. But then there's the internal scorecard. This one is based on your integrity, your values, your character. And this is what creates real, unshakable stability and calm, because it's the only thing you truly control. So after putting in all this work, building these tools, shifting your perspective, what's the ultimate payoff? Let's talk about the incredible power of inner silence and the kind of freedom and quiet authority that comes from having a well-managed mind. The benefits here, they are honestly transformative. When you cultivate a quiet mind, you save a massive amount of mental energy. You gain this incredible clarity and a much deeper focus. And maybe most importantly, you find true freedom from needing other people to tell you you're okay. This builds a kind of quiet authority, a self-mastery that doesn't have to announce itself. And it makes you so much more resilient, letting you bounce back from setbacks faster than ever. So, we'll leave you with this final thought. The noise of the world, the notifications, the opinions, the chaos, let's be real, that's not going away. It's not going to get any quieter out there. So the only real question left is, will you? There's a version of you that feels amazing when people praise you, right? But then there's this other version, the one that stays completely solid when you're questioned or doubted or even ignored. Today, we're not talking about that first one. We're here to build the second. Let's get to work on building that truly unshakable you. And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? See, comfort, it's like a sandcastle. Looks incredible in the sunshine, but the second a wave of pressure hits, poof, it's gone. Real confidence, though, that's the mountain. It couldn't care less about the weather. It's still standing even when things are not going your way. That's what we're here to build. The mountain. Okay, so let's be super clear about what we mean when we say dangerous. This isn't about being a threat to other people. No, it's about being a threat to your own mediocrity, a threat to being manipulated, a threat to being easily rattled. Think about an astronaut. When a system fails, they don't freak out, they don't shout, they just calmly work the problem. Their heart rate is steady. That quiet, focused power, that's dangerous confidence. So how do we build this? Well, we've broken it down into 4 foundational pillars. First, we're going to fortify your inner world, your internal authority. Then we'll learn how to project that strength outward with your presence. After that, we'll master how you respond under pressure. And finally, we'll lock it all in with a disciplined mindset. Let's get into it. All right, pillar 1, the bedrock, internal authority. And yeah, that subtitle, Kill the Need for Approval, it's meant to be strong. It's about making a huge shift away from needing other people's validation. Because look, the moment you start tweaking your words or your actions, just hoping someone will like you, that's the moment your foundation of confidence starts to quietly crumble. And this right here, this really shows you the 2 different internal voices we all have battling it out. I want you to take a second and be really honest with yourself. Which voice is running the show for you? Is it the one on the left, constantly looking outside for validation? Or is it the one on the right, the one that's grounded in what's true for you? Your entire stability really hangs on that answer. And these are the little leaks, the subtle ways we just give our authority away, bit by bit, creating these tiny cracks in our foundation. I mean, think about it. Every time you say something like, this might be a stupid idea, but you're basically sending a signal to yourself and to everyone else that you're afraid of disagreement. that you'd rather avoid it than face it head on. Okay, here's a super simple but incredibly powerful way to start sealing up those cracks. Just this one little language switch changes the entire dynamic of an interaction. Saying sorry immediately puts you in a position of weakness, a deficit, but saying thank you, that acknowledges the other person while you hold your ground. It's such a small change, but believe me, the psychological impact is massive. All right, let's move on to our second pillar. You'll see how this builds on the first. The thing is, before you even open your mouth to say a word, your body has already made an introduction. Your posture, the way you move, the tone of your voice, all of these things are broadcasting your internal state to the world, projecting either stability or chaos. And here's the most important part. This kind of presence, it's a skill. It's not some gift you're born with. It's something you train. It's all about owning the space you're in, slowing everything down, and learning to be totally comfortable in silence. That pause, especially. Man, that's where the real authority is. In that little bit of silence, you're not just waiting for your turn to talk, you are showing everyone that you are in complete command of this moment. And filler words, the ums, the likes, the you knows, think of them like static on a radio. They just create noise and distract from the actual message. Every single or like is this tiny signal to the person listening, and maybe more importantly to yourself, that you're not 100% sold on what you're saying. If you can replace those with just a deliberate pause, boom, you instantly add so much more weight to your words. Okay, so you've built your internal foundation, you're working on your presence. Now comes the real test, right? What happens when someone pushes back? Pillar 3 is all about how you respond. Because being calm under pressure, that's where this dangerous confidence is truly forged and proven. And this is a question I really want you to sit with. When you find yourself over-explaining, what are you really afraid of? Because let's be honest, it's almost never about just providing more clarity. It's a defense mechanism. It's rooted in this deep fear of being misunderstood or judged, or maybe being found out as not knowing enough. You're basically defending your position before anyone has even attacked it. And that's exactly why it's so damaging to your authority. Just imagine you're in a salary negotiation. The more you ramble on trying to justify why you deserve that raise, the less confident you actually sound. A truly powerful statement, it doesn't need 5 extra sentences holding it up. It stands on its own. So here's a practical tool you can use right away. It's called the calm method. Let's say you're in a meeting and a colleague challenges your data. Instead of getting defensive, you use calm. First, you center yourself. Just take one slow, silent breath. Then you acknowledge their point. Something simple like, "That's a fair question. It's important we get this right." Third, you limit your response. Answer clearly, briefly. The data is from the Q3 report, which was vetted by both departments. And fourth, and this is the hardest part, you move on. You just stop talking. You let that clear, concise answer hang in the air and do its work. All right, on to our final pillar. This is the mindset. This is the anchor that holds everything else together in the middle of a storm. It's about anchoring your sense of self so deep inside you that nothing external, not praise, not criticism, can knock you off your center. This quote right here, it's basically a fundamental law of power. The more you need something to go your way, whether it's closing a deal, or getting someone to like you, or having a project succeed, the less control you actually have over it. That neediness creates this tension that just leaks out in your voice, in your body language, in your decisions. Now let's be clear, detachment does not mean you don't care. In fact, it's the opposite. It means you care so intensely about the things you can control, your effort, your integrity, your composure, that you can release your grip on the things you can't. Your identity, your self-worth. It gets tied to your actions and your standards, not to the results, which are always unpredictable. And this is how you build that unshakable core. See, self-trust isn't some grand, heroic gesture. It's forged in the small, boring daily moments. It's waking up when you said you would. It's finishing the task you started. every single promise you keep to yourself, no matter how small, is another piece of evidence you're stacking up. It's proof, and each little win builds on the last, creating this incredible momentum of self-trust. So let's bring it all together. This is the path, and it's not a destination you just arrive at. It's a daily practice. It's about showing up for yourself every single day. You start by killing the need for approval and anchoring yourself internally. You project that strength through a controlled physical and vocal presence. You prove it with a calm, concise response to pressure. And you sustain it all with a disciplined mindset that's detached from the outcome but absolutely committed to your own high standards. So here's the bottom line. Confidence isn't something you have, it's something you train. It is not a personality trait you're just born with, it's a skill, a disciplined, trained response to life's pressures. And just like any other skill, it's built through intentional daily practice. So the only real question left isn't if you can build it, it's when you will begin. So what is one small promise you can make to yourself today and actually keep? Let me ask you something. What if that feeling most of us call confidence isn't actually confidence at all? What if it's just comfort? You know, that easy feeling you get when everyone in the room likes you, when they're all nodding along. But real confidence? That's forged in fire. It's what's left standing after the pressure hits, after you've been challenged. And that is exactly what we're here to build today. This quote right here, it just cuts straight to the bone, doesn't it? True confidence isn't about feeling good when everything's going your way. It's about being steady when it's not. It's that internal anchor that holds firm, even when someone looks you dead in the eye and says, I don't agree. So, what is this dangerous confidence we're talking about? Well, it's not loud, it's not arrogant or aggressive. In fact, it's the total opposite. It's a quiet, internal stability. Think of the person in the room who doesn't need to shout because their very presence has weight. It's an unshakable core that is completely 100% independent of anyone else's praise or approval. We're gonna build this thing from the ground up, piece by piece, focusing on 4 pillars. We'll start with the absolute bedrock, your internal authority. Then, we'll build on that with your physical presence, your body and voice. After that, we'll master the art of a calm, concise response. And finally, we'll lock it all in place with a disciplined, detached mindset. All right, let's get into it. Pillar 1, internal authority. This is everything. It all starts by making a conscious decision to kill that deep, primal need for other people's approval. Because the second you start twisting your words or your actions just to get someone to like you, you start chipping away at your own foundation. In this slide, this shows the fundamental shift you have to make in your own head. The approval seeker is always scanning the room, always asking, are you okay with me? Do you like this? But the internally anchored person, they ask a totally different question. Is this true for me? You see, one question makes you a slave to every opinion in the room. The other anchors you to something solid, something internal. And listen, we give away our authority in dozens of tiny ways every single day. We say sorry when we just mean, excuse me. We start our sentences with things like, well, this might be a stupid idea, but we literally make our voices softer because we're afraid of a little tension. Each one of these is a tiny signal to yourself and to everyone else that you're not quite sure you deserve to be there. So before you can change any of this, you have to see it. Here's your mission. For the next 2 days, just watch yourself. Don't judge, don't try to fix it. Just become aware of every single time you soften your voice, or apologize when you don't need to, or look for that nod of approval. Awareness is the first and most important step to taking back your power. Now, that internal authority we just talked about, that's the engine, and it powers our second pillar, presence. Look, confidence isn't just some idea in your head, it's a physical thing. Before you even open your mouth, your posture, the way you move, your eye contact, it's all already told a story about you. So let's break this down into a 4-step training drill. Number 1, own your posture. Stand tall, chest open, chin level. Not aggressive, just present. 2, control your movement. slow down your hand gestures and kill the nervous fidgeting. 3, and this one is a total game changer, slow your voice down. Seriously, if it feels almost painfully slow to you, it probably sounds just right to everyone else. And 4, master the pause. Silence is an empty space. It's a tool you use to command attention. You want to know why slowing your speech is so powerful? It's because it's a physical hack for your own nervous system. When you force yourself to speak slowly and deliberately, you are physically forcing your body to calm down. It's a simple fact. Panic and a slow, measured cadence literally cannot exist in the same body at the same time. Okay, on to our third pillar, your response, especially when you're under pressure. One of the biggest, quietest killers of authority is over-explaining. We do it because we're afraid of being misunderstood, of being judged, of being disliked. But you have to understand, every extra sentence you add to justify yourself just weakens your original statement. So I want you to really ask yourself this question. When you feel that urge to just keep talking, to keep justifying, what's the fear underneath it all? For a lot of us, it's a fear of that awkward silence or a fear of disagreement. We think if we just keep talking, we can keep control. But the truth is, the exact opposite is true. Just look at the difference here. The insecure response is a mess of excuses. It's basically begging for permission, and it opens the door for negotiation. But the confident response? It's a simple, calm, direct statement of fact. It doesn't ask for permission, it states a reality. You never, ever need to justify an act of self-respect. So to pull this off in a heated moment, use the CALM method. First, C, center yourself. Take one single deep breath before you say anything. It interrupts that panic response. A, acknowledge their point. Something simple like, that's a fair question, instantly brings the tension down. L, limit your answer. Be clear, be brief, stick to the facts. And M, the hardest part, move on. Stop talking, let the silence do the heavy lifting for you. And that brings us to the final and most powerful pillar, the one that holds everything else together, the mindset. This is all about learning to detach from external outcomes while at the same time raising your own internal standards. This is the advanced stuff, and it's where real, unshakable confidence is born. This is one of the great paradoxes of power and influence. The moment you become desperate for a certain result, you need them to say yes, you need them to like you, you need to close the deal. You've just handed them all of your power. Your neediness becomes a weapon they can use against you. Now, it is absolutely critical that you understand this. Detachment is not indifference. Indifference means you don't care. Detachment says, oh, I care. I care deeply about my effort, my preparation, and how I execute. But my internal sense of stability and self-worth is not tied to the result. It is the ultimate form of emotional discipline. So where does this unshakable core come from? It's built on a foundation of self-trust. And self-trust isn't built in some big heroic moment. No, it's forged in the fire of the tiny, boring, daily promises you keep to yourself. Waking up when you said you would, finishing the workout you started, holding the boundary you set. That's where the real steel is made. And this chart right here really brings it all home. We love to chase motivation. We wait for that aha moment of insight that's going to change everything. But look, those things are secondary. Real, lasting, deep confidence is built on one thing: action. Small, consistent, disciplined action. It's a response you train into your nervous system, not a feeling you wait around for. So here it is, your daily training mission, starting now. Every day, do one small thing that's just a little bit uncomfortable. Practice controlled stillness when you feel that urge to fidget or look away. And practice micro-detachment. Send that important email and then consciously resist the urge to check for a reply every 5 minutes. These tiny acts, they compound over time into an unshakable identity. Ultimately, that's what this all comes down to. Confidence is not a personality trait. You're not born with it. It is a skill. It is a system that you install and train, day in and day out, just like any other discipline. You now have the blueprint. You have the exercises. So the only real question left is, when does your training begin?